Alright, welcome back everyone. 皆さん、お帰りなさい。今日は201日目です。It is day 201. Yesterday, I was able to do a bit of recording and summary of our current process and kind of iron out what's going on in my head, right? So I'm going to see how consistent I am in doing those things, actually. This kind of varies. Sometimes steps are jumped over and here and there. There's a little bit of noise. But the new implementation, let's see how often. I'm gonna keep an eye out on how often that happens. And of course, we're still getting to the point where that whole burn evaluation is going to be one of the major parts of the routine. Today looks like we have a spread. I don't know why this is spread out like that. I must have yapped in several several intervals. Anyways, I think the large majority of this, where are we? We're 3 days in. So majority of this is the new stuff. Right? Level 19 stuff. Alright. Let's get into it. And it's gone. Oops.
枚数
資材
Izai. Alright. New stuff. Oh, I forgot to add like an addendum to the new stuff routine. There is a subroutine for new stuff. We'll cover it next time. Alright. Oh, and I still have to figure out how to integrate the compound mnemonics or practice the compound mnemonics. Let's try it here. I have none and rare, which deals with riot, right? So to solve a riot led by Ran, we break out the mead, right? And how did they do mead for this? What did they use for mead? This is probably still one of the weaker spots, which is the near rhyming. The near rhyming with the reading. Or there's also rare here. Mida? Yeah, midareru.
乱れる
Actually, this is to be in disorder. What did I write for this? The disorder created by Randy's riot was settled by sharing rare mead. Oh, there's the rare mead. Okay. I see. Okay.
財閥
財閥 Whoops.
減俸
減俸
いちご
Go. What?
忘れる
忘れる
いじめる
いじめる These are legacied, so we're not going to. We're only going to do the compound mnemonics if we have to. Ijimeru.
Zenak.
Zenak. Uh,
警告
警告
汽船
and get burn.
”釣れる”
釣れる Okay.
別冊
別冊
席順
席順うん
混ぜる
混ぜる Okay. Yeah.
布
You know. Ka? Okay. I just broke my train of thought there. Let's see. I'm gonna move this to the end.
一冊
That's it.
劇団
劇団 Oh, they want the... Okay. Good burn. We're fine with that one.
順番
Yunban.
教訓
Gyokun.
協力
Yoryoku. Oh, wait. That might have been compromised, actually. Oops. Oh, wait.
口頭
Koto. Koto. What is that thing that's supposed to be at the top? Oh.
大きい順
Okijun.
座禅
Zazen.
種類
Urui.
季節
Setsu.
札 埋める
Meru.
得る
Meru. Oops.
歴史
Rekishi. Yep. Oh, wait. Yeah.
訓読み
Accidentally put a U there. Unyomi. Can I just type? Okay. That's fine. like Murray, something dealing with Murray. Moody? Moody?
煙
暴力
暴力。
予告
予告。Oops.
親類
人類。
人類
人類。Or is this race? No, no, it's mankind.
連絡する
連絡する。Take along. Continue. Take along. Try your luck to rental. Oh yeah, to make a rental, to get rentals, you want to take a chance. If you want to something like, if you want to take rental, you gotta take a chance on contacting a dealer, right? Oh, because I had a rennaku. Oh yeah, for your rentals. Right, we want to try our luck at contacting a dealer.
Tokui
Okay.
乱戦
乱戦
忙しい
忙しい
昆虫
昆虫
関連
関連connected take along connected take along unlit things are connected One goes, the other takes along. It's a relation.
Yogi.
Yogi.
Zendera.
Endera. What? Oh. Renew. I don't think I have a compound one for this one. Renew. Oh, wait. I do. If I'm renewing, I'm making something new, right? Something new is
改める。
改める.
Kyokai.
了解. Cooperation meeting. WaniKani? Oh, WaniKani. Oh, wow. WaniKani. Oh, they're not writing. Oh, that's interesting that they wrote it that way. WaniKani. Okay. Yo. Okay. Gonna move this to the end. Yeah. Bamboo temple.
Itto.
Ito.
Mofu.
Mofu.
Toku.
Toku.
Nanmai.
Namai.
Togo.
Togo. Ne? Uh, Togo. Tofugu. Tofugu. Equal number. Oh.
Kaizen.
Kaizen.
Konran.
Konran. Konran. Ne? Oops, I missed the R. Ran.
Lambo.
Rambo. Oh there, Bree. I'm doing pretty alright. How are you doing? It's Saturday again. The peepos and I are planning on vibing again. How are you? How has your morning gone and your afternoon? Oh, I saw the end of season 3. So I mean, it's okay. Oh no, wait, did I see the end of season 3? Yeah, I did. So pew pew. Poor Grace lost her man. High Tower is weird. And then the greater conspiracy, and then, you know, the pew pew part. Oh, actually, I didn't see the end. There's still a little bit left. Just kidding. But close to the end. At least I think. Otherwise I don't remember. No, I'm close to the end. But I imagine some of that stuff was involved in the thing you were alluding to. Like the pew pew in the cafe, or the cafe area. Grace gets done dirty by double agent, and then yeah, that's about it, really. Oh, that pew pew. I can kind of see it, because they were setting up a Moriarty versus Sherlock situation, you know, and then Moriarty just got axed before the Catch Me If You Can happens. But I think it's in the service of the show, in the service of the show's format. I think continuously making that into an arc, the show then takes a different direction in its format. It ends up going from episodic. Just wait until season 4, I suppose. I don't have to wait. I probably know what's going on. But yeah, I'll probably see what happens in season 4. What I did like, though, a standout episode was The Woman. It's Sherlock's The Woman. but I obviously Sherlock is a drama, not a episodic dramedy. So Sherlock's got my vote on that. But it really did create some reminiscent feelings for the woman. What is that? Was that Sherlock's third arc? It's either second or third arc. I think it was the third arc. It was 4 seasons, right? Oh no, it's the second arc. It's the arc before Moriarty. The woman was the second arc. I enjoyed it. I liked her portrayal. I don't know why her face is so familiar. I watched another series with her in it. And she was in it for a very long time. Actually, let me double check. I don't know her name. Hold. I can just look through a cast. Hopefully they have up-to-date pictures. Okay. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know who I'm talking about? The woman? The one that thought she got away. She got away. And she hasn't open-ended, so obviously there's a great chance she'll come back into the show again. I don't remember what role she played that made her far more familiar to me. Nope, there's no like picture to the name because I don't remember the name. I only remember the face. It's the one that does interviews. She axed her husband in cold blood. And by that, I just meant that we will see what you think about season 4. Like, I think you've seen already a lot of people are upset with the direction of season 4, and her name is... Oh, nice. Marina. Yeah, I really like this actress. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. She was the Deadpool. She was right opposite Ryan Reynolds. That's right. Heckin' Deadpool. She was a love interest. And then, you know, she showed back up. Oh, I know where she is. Gotham. She was in Gotham for 5 years. Was that her, actually, was that her previous? She's currently, yeah, I think that was her previous. Oh, no, she's in Homeland as well. Gotham and Homeland at the same time. But I didn't watch Homeland. I did watch Gotham though. Oh man. She was also in the show The Endgame, which is sad. Yeah. I was only thinking about long running shows. Yeah, I heard about The Endgame. Yeah. Happens. Showbiz, you know, it's a cutthroat thing. I think her role she was a Grace for sure. She's more of a Grace in Gotham. That's her role. It's kind of got the butt end of deals a lot. Yeah, wow. She's Trauma Llama. Trauma Llama turned, I guess, somewhat twisted. Yeah, poor Grace. 2 times she's been interested in guys and they had to try to kill her. I know, right? Yeah, Grace is a Trauma Llama. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I honestly thought at some point Lisbon was gonna end up being Trauma Llama, but Lisbon is holding up the fort. Hightower's thing was really uneven. Like it's so weird. Like she goes from like 0 to 100 and then back to 0, back to 100. Like just the parts that she's in, she felt like a plot device, right? Hightower got thrown in as a plot device as opposed to a character they invested a couple episodes on. So towards the end of season 3, it felt like there's Hightower, plot device. It's like there she is, plot device. Yeah, I think you were talking about that last stream. Yeah, you just get thrown in as a plot device. That's a little unfortunate. I think that's kind of rough, especially for a recurring character. Like the reason why I say this is there's already precedents that they would write for the supporting character. Like for example, the channeler, right? The lady channeler. They wrote her off basically, but at the same time, despite only showing up 2.5 times ish, it doesn't necessarily feel as a plot device, but more of a spotlight. They give you spotlights on characters. Like even Mashburn's return was a spotlight, not a plot device. Like he had personality, he was like adjacent to the thing, but Hightower's like, she's there and she's gone. Like, oh, she's there, but it's still about Lisbon. It's a little unfortunate. I think the writing for her was a little bit uneven. Just a wee bit. And then we have other developments like Cho. The true Cho, but everything is having a ripple effect. Things are falling apart slightly at the seams. But Ex Machina keeps pulling through to resolve their problems coincidentally. And then the show goes on, right? It's not like Breaking Bad where it falls off the rails and never comes back. Ex Machina situations end up bringing the show back to its steady state. Well, except for Grace. I don't. When season 4 happens, I what I can see is they just bounce back as though nothing happened. Anyways, yeah, I look forward to season 4. Pretty good. Pretty good. What are my predictions for season 4? I don't really make predictions, but I don't know. It's too polarizing of an ending, so maybe they just replace there's the big elephant in the room, and that's like you can go to the Batman. You can go the Batman approach. You can go he already planned this, so it was a psych moment. So, you know, Red John version 2. Or he becomes Batman. Jane becomes Batman. There's also the breaking up of the team. Maybe some people get respotted, but that's probably not it. A really poor direction, if you're already predisposing me to poor direction, is like LaRoche is actually part of the conspiracy. That's probably not gonna happen. I would say Jane Batman situation, and then Red John somehow is not Red John, and there's Red John 2.0, new rival shows up, brings Jane back out of Batman dormancy, I suppose. That seems like one of those things don't inch forward, they kind of go backwards situation, which can feel off-putting or divisive. I'm going off the idea that there's a direction that may upset people, and it could be like 1 step forward, 4 steps back situation. We'll see. Were I surprised to see Jane actually kill him? No, not really. But now that he has, I was thinking that would happen a lot later, in the sense that the show doesn't go backwards. But if it was a divisive moment, then it's a action that you typically do not take back, right? But it would be divisive if you take it back somehow. And there are like 4 or 5 things that you can write to take it back surrogately, like in a metaphorical way, and most of them are not that great. There are shows where that is a theme, where like, did you see the body? Did you so and so? Because if not, then they're still alive. But that's often in like organized crime shows. So technically, Mentalist is kind of adjacent to that. So one divisive move I can definitely see is that, oh, well, you didn't really see if he died or anything, and then Red John just comes back. I don't know, or that wasn't actually Red John. Psych. But I look forward to it. Yeah, I don't usually do predictions for shows. I more like embody what the feel is. I like seeing what the writer gives me to work with. In this case, it was pretty abrupt, so you really don't have much to work with. So there's, you know, those moments where shows are done just to shock you for like next season, but then usually it has a backlash if that it is found out that the ending to the previous season was just done for the shock value and nothing else. So I'm kind of curious if that's one of the situations for season 4. And then they distance themselves from that. They continue to distance themselves from that decision. It'll be interesting. I think the beginning of the end. One of the things is like the Thanos snap, right? In Marvel, the MCU, the Thanos snap was big, but then the following phases did everything possible to undo it in a metaphorical way. So I feel this show is probably going to spend season 4 undoing it in a metaphorical way. If it's in a literal way, that's kind of off-putting. Oh, you remember Sherlock, when Sherlock faked his death in the end of season 2 against Moriarty, and then they spend the entirety of season 3 doing explaining the fake out, and then eventually Sherlock reveals to, sorry, spoilers for a really old for a fairly old show now. Sherlock comes back, surprise Freeman, right, Watson, at his dinner with his soon to be discovered assassin lady wife figure, right? That kind of thing. That was actually the moment when the show kind of took a dip in like public appeal. Not dead. Dun dun dun. Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things. There are ways to do it that I feel is more consistent, but generally speaking, if it's at the end of a season and then you spend the large majority of screen time trying to step back a little because you went too far, that can feel off-putting, especially when it's a television show, because then you spend a lot of time trying to fill in the gaps, like how was it possible, or how to, and if it's not done adequately, it often leaves a majority of viewers pretty miffed. And the Thanos snap is one of the big ones, actually, in like the continuum of FCU universe, right? Consequence, and then the consequences largely retconned overall. I think the superhero, like comic books and stuff, gives a great example where eventually they encounter that, the retcon or like amnesia or parallel universe. And so far, oftentimes parallel universes or alternative ways of happening, like eyes can be deceptive, that kind of thing, is the more classical way of like messing with the viewer, you know, break the fourth wall and play with the viewer's perspective. That can get a little tricky. So like, oh, did you see them actually die? It's like, well, you didn't. Aha, you know, the joke's on you. I think you said that you can see why some are upset, but in terms of how the show has gone up with that point, it really wasn't a huge upset for me when you first watched it, and you almost kind of expected it, to be honest. Yeah, I could kind of see that. It is a season 3 it is a season, it's a very season 3 result, if you know what I mean. So it'll be interesting. Like, I know you didn't watch the rest of Dexter, but Dexter happened around then too. The original Dexter, it happened around then, and it does deal with the same theme. Like, the whole season was built on preserving something, and it just disappears. But they didn't go back. So I like to see what I'm genuinely very curious. I think large shock values also have fun curiosities. The internet is no short of that. When someone makes like a bombastic statement, I'm intrigued. However, the bombastic statements are far more unpredictable than consistent writing and stuff. Like, Breaking Bad is a consistent writing thing. They're rarely, like, it's consistent to the point that it's so predictable, yet, or like it's upping the ante without needing to rely on sudden, unexpected, out of the character movements, right? Or large enough movements that can create a, oh really? It's more like, oh no, I don't want to see this. It's going to happen. Like, oh no, you can see. So the painting's on the wall, and you want to know if the painting, you know, how it resolves in that way. So that's why Breaking Bad and like The Americans and even The Diplomat has a much smoother curve, despite having twist, like unexpected, like our characters encounter unexpected situations, but they don't take a nosedive off of a sudden action and then leaving everyone like scratching their heads. Oh, and now it's a coin flip. So season 3 to season 4's transition is going to be rough regardless, because of how they pulled off the season 3 ender. And that happens quite a lot in shows that rely on those things. Anime does that quite a lot, actually. Like long serialized anime, they would leave it at incredible points, and then it takes a while for the new season to catch up again. Like what I mean is there is a bit of a dip, and then they have to recover their way back up. Unless there's one exception to that, and it's they decided to end at a climax of like a middle point, like a peak of a situation, and those feel the worst oftentimes, where you decide not to close off the arc and just break it right in the middle. But this feels less like that, which I think is probably less upsetting than it could have been. Like, imagine cutting right before he approaches Rajon. Like end of season, it's like end of season 3 to be continued. The moment he walks up to Red John, it just says cut. End of season 3. That's more of a drama, like more of a drama convention than a episodic show. So fair enough. You know what I mean? Like long drama shows where they only have one continuous arc, so they always find the most inauspicious place to cut a conclusion and just leave people hanging without closure. You gotta love your cliffhangers. Or not love to hate your cliffhangers, I suppose. Anyways. Yeah, I'm excited. Just the idea that you have controversy, like you're at odds with the contrarians and whatnot, makes me want to watch the show far more. But let me be clear, people overall, at least from what you've seen, were not upset that Jane shot him. They were upset with the fallout and the direction of the show's filing. Yeah. There were tons of ads leading up to the finale that made people think a certain thing, and when season 4 rolled around, that thing was just not taking the direction they expected based on those ads. Oh, that's interesting. My thought was they just roll off. Like they distance themselves. But I don't know what the nature of that ad is because I didn't watch the ad, nor do I read anything about it. But expectations are definitely adds to the unpredictability. If you're gonna ask me where I would think would fit in the scheme of the writer's behavior, they just move on. Like no Batman, they move on. But then it leaves a hole in Jane's motivations. So at most, season 4 will provide a motivation for Jane's existence. Like the compelling nature of his motivation. Perhaps, here I say, Red John has a Red John. I don't know. Something like that. And then they'll continue to do the show as usual. Throwing cookie crumbs for the Red John of the Red John. That's what I think the ads would have probably said. Oh, but there's more. But maybe instead they de-escalate as opposed to escalate. So when you're saying expectations, I don't necessarily build it on details because details can be way too unpredictable, but more like the feel of the ads. If the ads is leading to a particular emotional attachment and then you go away from the direction, the feel of the ads, then it can be a little off-putting. Like, oh hey, this show, oh there's gonna be more and more cat and mouse stuff, and then suddenly it's business as usual, lots of like sulking and self-defeating espresso depresso stuff, then that would create a division. It would be creating unexpected things. There's no way I would be able to line the details. I think the details would be someone very confident in their predictions. I don't make those type of predictions usually. It'll be fun to watch the ads. I'll look at the ads. It'll be interesting to read the backstories about what the season 4 ads were. I think that type of augmented experience is really great. Chaos and violence.
Yoi.
Yoi. In situations like these, oh yeah, and slight spoiler, there's an episode in season 1 that was interesting, but you thought could have been done better. Something happens that causes Jane to lose his memory, forget about everyone, and goes back to con man ways, and I laughed so hard the way Jane was acting. Oh, I think that's cute. I was wondering when they were gonna make him masquerade, like the actor masquerade, because they had to come up with a new. Well, we'll see. I think. Oh, hang on. Let me get rid of this. Daily viewer bot spam. The thing that immediately happened at season 3, they would spend most of season 4 establishing a new motive or like a new motivation. So I think it's fun. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's fun thinking about all the possibilities. I don't make predictions because I typically think of too many possibilities. However, I also don't watch ads, but I can see I can see that the unpredictability would need some ads for closure. And one of them was wondering if they're going to explore more of Jane's past in order to provide more characterization of him if they follow through with Red John being gone, right? It's kind of like what does Sherlock do after Moriarty? What does Sherlock do after the woman? Do they keep upping the game? Do they swap up the game? And ultimately, that's kind of what Sherlock had like reception problems. Like after Moriarty and the woman and Magnuson. Was that his name? Something like that, Magnuson. I'm forgetting someone. You gotta get more sprinkled cookie crumbs for the peeps. Honestly, the whole LaRoche thing with I like having like a LaRoche character next to Jane, like a parallel conspiracy thing going. That feels at home. Right at home. Having someone like rival Jane, the episodes that have rivalries are wonderful. You didn't watch the ads until after the fact. You were curious where all the hate press was coming from. You watched the show for the first time after it had already ended, so I didn't have a chance. Yeah. Makes me wonder if my reaction would have been different because without the context of the ads, you really enjoy it. Yes, exactly. That's the wonders of human perspective, right? It's kind of like when someone says, you know, oh, I would have acted differently if I knew what I knew today. And I'm like, yeah, but that's exactly the point. When you were back then, you wouldn't know unless you knew the context. So, like, for example, when people compare, right? Oh, I like this show. I don't know what people were talking about. It was a different context. You were not making that decision back then, right? And not that this is victim blaming. I want to highlight a different perspective. The idea is that you have to become aware of that. It's wonderful to be able to enjoy something in a different context. So for example, when people talk about when they rewatch a show, they rewatch a show thinking it will be felt the same way again. But that's usually not how that works. You could get nostalgia for sure, but that takes a lot of energy to try to think of all the things that happened back then and what your thoughts are. Emotional intelligence, and what I mean is, oh no, not intelligence. Emotional memory is consolidating for humans. So if you rewatch season 4, like, you know how some people professional writers would revisit something after a while. You can really only watch something for the first time once. Yeah, you can only really watch, but that is saying it in a negative way, or like that's often used for people who wants to see it negatively. Not that I'm saying you are, but they use that excuse to see to rationalize that they could only have one experience once again, but you can have another different experience the second time around. And I know it's not you because you're rewatching Mentalist. I rewatch certain things too. I even rewatch things when other people know me and they start watching it. Like I'm low-key rewatching The Americans because I wanted to know the specific details you are referring to or could refer to, right? If 3 people get together to watch anime, it doesn't matter if 2 or all of them watched it before. The experience is different. You can only watch it again in the experience you are having. And here, this is also why, for me, this is a contentious point. For others, why spoilers is very different. I treat spoilers very differently than other people. If someone is passionate, and I know this person, and they're doing it to speak about the show, it's a different experience. I can only watch the show one time, first time, right? And that includes all the motivations to watch the show in the first place. So, if you didn't spoil something, my first time experience would be different, not lesser. Right? That's kind of one of those like big deals about human memory and behavior that I typically kind of push back on a lot of times. Some people say this a lot, and it stops them from doing it in the first place. What is a more common one? Like, oh, I'm saving this. I'm saving this so that I can watch it. And in the process, they have less and less connections to watching it in the first place. Like, I prefer, in my opinion, to encourage the person I know to explain and say things about the show. They're the ads. Bree, you are my Mentalist ad, if you know what I mean. Like, you are better than an ad. You are someone that I speak to. So what you're doing for the show and the motivation to watch the show is greater than your more narcissistic, egotistic perspective that a specific experience that you have, you own that experience, so that's better for you. Like for loners, certainly. Like I'm no longer that type of loner. I prefer that if someone is super excited, and this is provided that we are acquainted, right? A stranger coming around doing that, that's a stranger with no emotional investment. But if you keep talking about season 4, the controversy, how you like it, I'm more and more inclined to watch it. A loner could say, no, I'll just wait till I watch it. It's like, but you don't know when you're going to watch it. One of the habits of a loner a lot of times is, oh yeah, I'll get to that. Like, I know you really like the show, but I'll get to it when I get to it. And the other person would be left hanging and say like, well, are you ever going to get to it? And loners, when they say they'll get to it, there's no guarantee that they'll get to it. So whenever someone says, oh, you don't have to tell me anymore, I'll put it on the list, then you won't watch. You will likely not watch it. Or you will not likely, in my opinion, you are less likely than sharing that experience with someone else. Less likely. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but when a loner says, okay, well, just no spoilers, please. I will put it on the list and I'll watch it. Like, well, then you won't have a reminder nor a tether to someone else who's motivating you to have an extra reason to watch it. So to me, that's kind of one of those things behind spoilers. Not that I'm saying you have to behave a certain way or welcome spoilers. You can even tiptoe around spoilers. That's actually kind of fun. Like, you get two people talking about the show, but they're kind of like deliberately avoiding spoilers. But the act of deliberately avoiding spoilers or introducing spoilers is far more involved than telling someone, oh yeah, well, you know, we'll wait and see, right? But you have to wait and see with some tantalizing emotional investment. I kind of like that, at least in my opinion. Otherwise, like, I go back and watch something else because I don't have. I need more than that. It's you know, if you're trying to convince someone to watch a show that they otherwise may not have, the question is, why didn't they watch it in the first place? And oftentimes in the post-internet world, it's not because they didn't see it. If you know what I mean. Like, rarely can you use the excuse like, oh yeah, I didn't hear people talk about this. If you're online, like if you're meeting people online. Like, oh, I think I've seen that somewhere, kind of thing. You've probably seen it somewhere. Now we could get like, oh, but you can cherry pick your dark horses. Like, you can pick the most obscure things I see. People can miss this. It's like, but you cherry picked the most dark horse examples. Mentalist is not one of those dark horse situations. I mean, the show ran for 7 seasons. A dark horse situation would be something like, did you see that 14-minute episode that was a one-off that got canceled immediately because the pilot failed? It's like, probably not. You think you like it more the second time around, to be honest? You've noticed so many things that you missed the first time around that made it so enjoyable for you. That's fair. You could, and I don't know how long it's been since the last time you watched Mentalist, but you've watched a lot of things in between as well. So you probably formed even more attachments as you're going. Your acuity for the show, it's kind of like when someone says there's no reason to go back over fundamentals, right? Or there's no reason to affirm what you already know. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. But is there a reason to transform the things you already know? From time to time, like 5 years down the line, I would revisit something. It's like, I'm no longer the same person 5 years ago. So not only are you never going to have that first time once again, you're never going to have a second time. You're never going to have a third time, fourth time. And depending on how long between periods, you're never the same person ever again. And when I mean same, I really do push it. When someone says same, they literally have to be the same in a double-edged situation. So I can use that same logic when someone says, oh, I can never have the first experience again. It's like, well, by that extreme logic, you're never the same person ever again. So you can never have it by default. With every passing day, you'll have more experiences. And those experiences will shape the way you have a second experience with something. Now, sometimes though, people want validity and resolution to determine what are more important to them, right? So that they don't get stuck watching, quote unquote, the same thing over and over again. That tackles a very different thing. A very different thing that I might not want to go into right now. Like, it could be coping. Coping is kind of one of the bigger things. Like, whatever is happening now is not as interesting as what happened then. So that becomes coping. Whatever is interesting now made something else in the past more interesting. That's exploration and reevaluation. So when you're saying you're watching something the second time, you're paying attention to more things and it's becoming more enjoyable, like it's even more enjoyable the second time around. That's not coping. It's not coping using nostalgia. It's looking for more in something you've experienced the first time, which is different from the second time. The second time is literally the time that you notice more details than the first time. The first time you get the gist, right? It's always going to be just like compared to the second time. Weird. And usually I will add even more, Brie, from an anecdote standpoint. The third time is usually with a friend or with other people. So my first time, if I have a first time, is usually by myself, right? But the first time is usually because of someone else. Now, I don't actually do things on my own when it comes to shows. There are plenty of shows now that I've collected to the point where it's saturated. It's going to be connected to someone. And then the second time would be potentially out of academic curiosity, because then they will be out of trend, right? The second time around, it will be out of trend unless there's a resurgence or a retrend. And then the third time tends to be with friends. Like someone else is watching, then I would watch as well because I have a different perspective. Now I'm looking for different details because of someone else. The relatability is different. I think most of the time when someone says, I never rewatch a show because I already know what happens, they're loners. Because their experience, in my opinion, they believe their experience is going to be so similar because they keep to themselves. Or they're consistent loners, as in they want to maintain consistency for the rest of their lives. So something emotionally, intellectually hasn't changed substantially from the last time they watched it. So of course you would have the same experience, or you would feel or convince yourself you would have the same experience because your life itself is at a standstill, right? And that could be fine. Loners can be perfectly happy with being consistent for the rest of their lives. I don't think it's been a very long time since I went back to watch a show and suddenly all I think about is it's the same. Like, I think things in my life, even the mundane, has become valuable to me. So the moment I revisit a show, I will be looking through it through new lenses. Especially when there's someone else to share. I like asynchronous. Here's a fun thing. I like when people are ahead of me in a show because it only means that I get to hear what they think about before I watch it. Like, this is good. You're basically my poster, like my ad for it. So hear me out. If I'm disappointed by season 4 because of your lack of disappointment, I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm kidding, obviously, but that's kind of the fun part. Like, humans still find ways to create expectations. It doesn't have to be ads. But what's funny about this situation is if it's a corporation or an organization behind the ads, it's like corrupt and unacceptable. If it's a friend, it's not. Talking about double standards, right? And it happens way more on the internet now than before. Like where, you know, you have that friend who overhypes something and then you watch it, it's like, oh, it wasn't that hype. But you wouldn't like hold it against your friend. You would try your best to be like, oh, it wasn't as exciting as I thought it was. And if you substitute it with an ad, you know, by the writers, then there's a double standard for it, where they the individual would the people which would blame like a parasocial thing, so they're not emotionally invested to think rationally and considerately, they typically say, well, I don't know this person. It's a parasocial thing, so I can speak my mind and be as polarizing as possible, which is how the internet treats people now. Like, what I mean is that's the internet culture. Parasocial relationships have a contrast to social relationships, where if it doesn't meet your expectations, you try not to find consensus oftentimes, as often as if it was a personal friend or someone you have a social interaction with. And in this case, regardless, I know I'm setting you up to possibly already predicting what my reaction is going to be. It's going to be like, I'm going to say something that's related to what you think, and I'm probably going to say something that's related to what you shared about the other people, and it'll make for a good conversation. Although one thing that others might have to come to realization, Bree, is that I typically don't like it won't be like super hype or super disappointed. It rarely is the case. Actually, because more than one perspective does that. Watching things from a single perspective it's been a while. Maybe I may never have that experience ever again. It might be the consequence of aging. Perhaps I'll be like Jane and lose some of my memories along the way. That could happen. That could happen. I don't know what you're saying okay to, Hooks, but hi. Oops.
説得
Setoku. You obtain theory. This one needs a mnemonic, huh? Setoku. It's like convinced, right? Persuasion.
Man.
Mom. Good burn. Good burn.
「分類
Unui. Oops.
優しい。
優しい。仏教ね。仏教と。
仏教徒。
連続
連続。Entangled? Oh, to get involved. So to be involved, what are we getting involved in? We can take the Laku. Oh, is this the Laku thing that we're doing? What are we getting involved with? just our luck. We got involved in a karaoke party.
絡む
Karamu. Oh, is that just to be involved with? That's okay. Black hole marked footwear.
1万
1万
記者
Sure.
生徒座る
座る
硬い
はい
飴
飴
節句
節句あ
対等
対等対等ね versus equal your opponent wait 私はこんなうんfun department でありたいと思っていますI'll move this to the end. What? Oh.
星座
There's a
喉 忘年会
忘年会 Number of criminals is decreasing. Oh yeah. That.
減る
Hit it.
銀座
Ginza.
順位
Jui.
神道
Shinto. Ugh. 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 That was supposed to be life, right? Life.
喫煙
Tsuen.
かわいい
Kawaii. うーん。
高騰
高騰。
発殺
刺す。ダメ。うざい。
飴細工
飴細工。Oh, that's not how you spell sculpture.
入団
入団。
禁じる
禁じる。
続く
続く。
広告
広告。
等しい
等しい。
財布
財布。
根血
根血。
昆布
昆布。
続々
続々。
文句
MAKU. Monku. Mitsukete monku o iita. 言いたがあります。言いたがいます。うん。文句。I think this one's gonna need some help here. Monku. So the monster, right here actually. The monster complained. The monster complained about the lack of cookies. Cookie monster. Okay.
Jinshu.
飲酒。
5枚
5枚。
不可欠
不可欠。Oh.
学歴。
学歴。
2万
2万。Okay.
Tsunagaru.
つながる。つながる。ね Okay. You're raging about bowling and sucking at bowling. Calm Wizard comes around and says abracadabra.
暴れる
About it. And all is well. Hmm. Oh.
内容。
内容。The bow. What is the bow? YOLO? Okay, that's not it. I just want to type this. Okay. How did the bow work? Archery. What? Hello, Kyo. You. Oh, right. The cucumber.
弓道
Yudo. Hmm. Sometimes shooting cucumbers. Sometimes you just have to improvise with cucumber. It takes a lot of skill in archery to use cucumbers with a bow. Oh, okay. Actually, no. That's good enough. Actually. We'll leave it at that until maybe donuts fall apart.
告げる
Nyaru.
3冊
Sansatsu.
集団
Shudan. Gather up a group. This is not quite what I think it is. You know, we paused on this before. Or maybe not. Shudan. It's just the group is gather up in a group. Hmm.
暴走
Also.
「多忙
Abo.
連中
Renju. Am I drawing a blank on this? Oh,
黒煙
Kokuen.
座席
Daseki.
禁句
Inku. インク
10万
10万 The okay bird?
告白
告白 What? What? Incarnation? Oh, wait. No? Oh, maybe it'll come to me when I'm typing something's off.
Kunren
Kunden.
連日
連日 Oops.
布団
Oh no. Oh no. I'm having a random block. Oh no. How do I? Oh, okay. What? Oh,
書類
書類. 書類. Book kind? Okay.
可能
舞
my
いい加減
いい加減.
禁煙
いいね.
禁止
禁止. bit off. Prohibition. Okay. Fair enough.
弓
Yumi. Alright. So we skipped 4.
叩く
Daku. The meat cooperation. Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna come up with something new for them. I think cooperation is kind of weak when it comes to the exact interpretation that they want. WaniKani. Okay. Huh. Hmm. I think I have 2 of these, don't I? No. Oh no. Versus equal. Is equality? Oh, I could have typed equal. Okay, let's do something. One versus one on equal terms. And then something went south with this. These are uncharacteristic. Very uncharacteristic problem. Okay. No. Pretty sure it's Kisaten.
喫茶店
Okay. Do I want to write something for this? Let's write something for this for the read. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore that stuff. Or maybe not. Okay. I saw a kit. I saw a tea kit. From I saw tea kits from 10 cafes. That's just out the thing. I saw I saw tea kits from 10 cafes. Okay. And then operation meet. Maybe like to meet in the middle. Kyokai. We have a lot of these. Kyokai. Things that cooperate together. It's not an organization. Actually, organization might actually work. It does work. Even though I misspelled organization. Association or society here. So not a meeting, so it's got to be a place. So in Kyoto, we are meeting with a organization or with an association in Kyoto. An association in Kyoto about kayaking. Okay. Fair enough. We still got more reviews. Let's see, 518. We yapped a little, so more reviews. Let's keep going. Dang it, my gut feeling failed. All right, let's get back to. Okay. In order? Okay. Add. The add is to increase the quantity. In order to add more quantity, one must get a car, right? So what is
Yakimo.
Yakimo? Oops. What? What? Huh. This is a... Oh, no. I think this is a burn. This is a burn item, right? This has got to be a burn item. But why is it being a butthead? Oh. Rendaku. Actually, I don't think it's Rendaku at all. It's always... Oh, it's always Dai. Right.
Ichidai.
Ichidai. I was typing Thai because of Chinese. Ushi. Yeah. Good burn. Decent burn. Whoops. That's a fine burn. What?
Nekojita.
Gojira. That's a different situation there.
Nendaijun.
Nendaijun.
参加
中止
Juicy. It's a pretty decent burn.
じゃがいも
Jagaimo. That one's fine too. Oops. There's a typo.
小さい順
Isai Dun. Dun.
5大
Godai. Oops, I missed the S.
下
Shita.
改正
Kaise.
10代
Judai. Burns, burns, burns. Hmm. I don't think that one was a burn. Whoops.
二枚舌
Imaijita. Oh,
大切
Taisetsu.
二台
Nidai. Was that a burn?
分
Bun. That's fine burn. Oops.
50音順
Goju Onzun. Onjun. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh eh oh. Ooh eh oh. Fine.
切る
Hiru. They went with con here.
Imo
Emo. Alright. Pretty decent. Pretty decent today. Hey. Got some yapping and still kept it under 3 hours. Alright. Let's go over our mnemonics. Become black hole, director, reason, ego, right. Riri's imo ka setsu yen yun yo u I zai waka shi hon atsu deki shita satsu u shu o the uzu dan tom o kon dan to toku Hai. Zoku. Ren. Zen. Raku. Teki. Shi. Alright. That's a wrap for WaniKani today. Not bad, not bad. Pretty good. Pretty solid. Starting to add the new thing to the end, right? Whenever it comes up. I still haven't really figured out how I'm going to integrate that retroactively. But pretty solid. Alright. That's a wrap for WaniKani today. If you're going to watch this later, arigatou gozaimasu. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, right? Feel free to pick up WaniKani for yourself. Try it out. You're always welcome to come on by, share some stories, discuss some ideas, exchange some strategies. Always welcome. So for those who are only interested in WaniKani, ite kurete arigatou, right? Minasan mata ne. See you guys all next time. I'm gonna get up, stretch, walk around, get some blood pumping, do some lunges. I'll be back for Hansa Hero. Thank you.